What's going on, everyone? Gary Husted here with G2 Home Services, and we are your kitchen and bathroom remodeling specialist. Today, I just wanted to take a couple minutes and talk to you a little bit about managing expectations in the remodeling industry. As you guys all know, right now there's a lot of things going on with setbacks, delays, back orders on materials, getting permits, all types of things that are affecting our industry very, very deeply. And I just want to take a few minutes and go through some of those things and discuss some of the ins and outs, maybe some ways that we can get those done a little bit more quickly or more efficiently, and how that's going to benefit you, the homeowner, in the long run. So don't mind my notes here, but as far as setting up for the managing expected delivery dates for materials, basically, obviously, goes without saying, order early. In order for us to do that, we've got to make sure that we get our material selections done very quickly. Typically, when we get started, the first thing I do is file for a permit. Second thing I do is schedule a selections meeting. Sometimes it takes some time for the homeowner to pick out what they want. And while we want you to be very dubious in the amount of time that you spend and make sure that you're doing your due diligence and you get the material that you want, we also need to do that at an expedited manner, because the longer that takes, the longer that it potentially could set the job back with these delays. Good communication has got to be first and foremost in most aspects of construction, but especially when it comes down to these time frames with the materials. We always try to make sure that we check in. Me as the salesman, I try to stay on top of the material selections, making sure that we do our due diligence and get all of the materials selected early on. And we have a list of everything that needs to go on into each project, so it helps remind us. If you guys have ever done a remodel before, you know that it takes time, and there are lots of small pieces that a lot of people don't realize when they're making their selections. Talking about delivery dates. Obviously, when we talk about delivery dates from vendors right now, when my vendor tells me a date, I add a week to that. And a lot of times it's still behind schedule, because the short answer is with this, guys, that they just really don't know. They have expectations. One of the big things that's been hit in our country is logistics, deliveries. A lot of this stuff comes from overseas, so shipping, deliveries by truck, all of those things are slowing down the process quite a bit. So the communication, the delivery dates, checking stock. What I do, I use ProSource over there in Port Richey for a lot of our material purchases. And while I'm in the showroom with my clients going, picking out selections, if they come down to a couple items that they have, I'll have Tom or Lynn check stock for me. And what that does is that lets us know, well, hey, maybe that helps in the decision-making process, right? Maybe when we, if they're not sure about which one, they're going to decide on the one that is available, and that will help with that process as well, guys. Scheduling is next. Permits and planning do take time. That's just all there is to it, guys. So we need to set the job out far enough to make sure that we've got time to do these things. Like I said, last I checked, Pasco County was about 6 to 8 weeks out on permits. Some materials are taking 2 to 3 months. So if we set the lead time on a job out that 2 to 3 month range, it's not only, it's not because we're so busy necessarily. A lot of it is too because it takes so much time behind the scenes to make sure that we get all of our stuff and our due diligence done ahead of time. And one of the things that I see happen often that we try not to do is rush to get the job started. Once your job starts, I want to be on your job every day. I want to make sure that while we're on your job, that we have all the materials to do the job. I don't see any sense in starting a project where we don't have those materials readily available, and then waiting. There's nothing worse than demoing a bathroom and then having to wait 3 weeks to get in some materials to move forward. So always making sure that we have those available for us. Order extra. Guys, in this day and time, we talked about the shipping and the delivery and everything else. Sometimes when you order, right down to the number, or even if you do get your 10% waste, boxes come in broken, guys. Materials come in messed up. It could be a mislabeled box. It could be a damaged box. Could be a whole damaged pallet. So just make sure that you're ordering enough extra material. Obviously, we have to keep our job costs low, but in order enough extra material that if there is some damage, if there is a delay, that you're not halfway through a job and you need to order one box of tile and you're on back order for 3 months. Okay. Um, and plan your schedule around any back ordered materials. We kind of touched on it earlier, but if you've got tile that's back ordered, don't start the job until you know that the tile is ready to come in. It's just plain and simple. Whatever we do with the customers, our number one priority here, guys, is delivering a good process and making you feel comfortable with the process that we do. So again, tearing out the bathroom to hurry up and get that started. I've had clients in the past that are, just chomping at the bit to get started. Hey, when can we start? When can we start? When can we start? Well, we can start anytime you want, but there's no sense in me starting, tearing the bathroom apart, and then waiting 3 weeks to start putting it back together, guys. It just doesn't make any sense. So, we like to be in a process where we can get started and move from step to step to step. Remember, we are the professionals. This is what we do for a living, and we do it in a way that makes the most sense for all parties involved, not just ourselves. Okay. Um, and again, like I mentioned before, the best practices are just to wait and start the project once you have all materials on site. I know sometimes that's not plausible, but in most cases, that's going to give you the most seamless time as far as your work goes and making sure that everything is done correctly. Okay. But guys, just wanted to touch base with you on that a little bit today. If you have any questions for us moving forward, please feel free to check us out on Facebook. That's facebook.com/G2 Home Services, or give us a call here at the office, 727-478-5279. We'd love to hear anything that you have to say about the podcast or the video, and let us know what's going on moving forward. Thank you very much. Have a great day.